Looking back.
We're going to be looking back at someone that we have been blatantly plagiarizing and borrowing from. Okay, not plagiarizing, but borrowing from. One Mr. Ronald Bruce Meyer, who celebrates his birthday here on November the 23rd. So yeah, this guy is the creator of the Free Thought Almanac, which is for all of our looking back segments. We quite frequently borrow from him. This guy sounds like an interesting guy to have a beer with. Bit of a polymath. Let's see, what's he done? He's done voiceover work. He's had a career in radio. He's dabbled in real estate, healthcare, construction. So he's kind of like me, only successful. And our birthdays are 2 days apart. So we're both Sagittariuses. Not that we believe in astrology, because Sagittariuses are skeptical. But yeah, this guy is... That's an Arthur C. Clarke quote, by the way.
I like that one. That's good.
It's a great one. And this guy is prolific. He writes a ton on his blog. And despite my initial determination, he's actually quite lively to read. He's a really fun guy to read. He writes with verve and passion. Stop laughing, Johnny. I see you over there.
Here, behind the scenes, I get a message from this guy. All right. Why are we doing Ronald Bruce Meyer? Who is this guy? And I'm like, what do you mean? Did you look at the thing? Yeah, I guess, but he seems kind of a boring dude. I'm like, did you look at the website? So we had a little conversation, Nate and I, and he didn't know because we didn't really talk about it. But yeah, Nate now knows, and is now, I think, he probably is more knowledgeable about this guy than some of the more veteran nonprofits here. Yeah, we've been.
You'll be hearing from my attorney, sir.
We have been plagiarizing. We've been using his Free Thought Almanac, which is a list. Tell us what it is, Nate. Cindy, do you know what it is? Ateo, what is the Free Thought Almanac? Why are we talking about it? Why do we care? What is it?
Well, I know now thanks to you. Oh, go, Cindy.
Cindy, please.
Yeah, sorry. It's a list of people or events to celebrate, but not linked to religion, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's I had years ago talked about, like, I want to put together like a humanist's calendar. And it's not going to have any of this Jesus stuff on it. It's going to be like real things that happened, like the burning of the library at Alexandria and Hypatia's birthday and the DNA stuff and Socrates' death. And I'm like, that's a great idea. And I patted myself on the back and I promptly did nothing about it ever. But Mr. Ronald Bruce Meyer, on the other hand, has assembled a very interesting list of people who have been in this community in different points in time, who have struck out and put stakes in the ground and say, these are significant people, places, and things that have happened. And I just thought it was, his birthday is the 23rd, which is, not too long from now. And I thought it would be cool to at least give him some credit for all the work that he's done that we've relied on, at least as a starting point, because, sometimes we're looking for that fourth article and we want to have something, maybe not looking forward or looking at where we're at, but truly, like, let's have some context. Let's have something else. What happened this day in history? Scroll. Oh, Arthur C. Clarke was born, or something interesting in history that probably we weren't taught in school because it didn't have something to do with George Washington cutting down a cherry tree or the French Revolution or the bloody rebellion that the Canadians pulled off when they separated from the monarchy, right?
Oh, so bloody.
Bloody.
Much maple syrup was spilled in that battle.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Nate, I'm going to save you. Don't feel bad about not knowing about this person. I'm going to read what I wrote at the end of my notes. So guys, was he famous or something like that? So you are not the only one, Nate. I had no idea that you guys had been plagiarizing somebody else. I thought you were so original. Johnny, how could you do this to me?
We've been inspired by him.
We're inspired by him.
Yes.
Oh, the same way that I've been inspired by you guys, right? Yeah, sure.
He's
I'm
our
not
muse.
plagiarizing you.
He's our
What?
muse, exactly, Cindy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. He
it
is
is.
the
Yeah.
nonprofit's muse. That is perfect, Cindy. Wow.
And you know,
Well said.
I'll be honest with this early on. I copied the entire list and I started adding to it because he doesn't have everyone in here. And I think this Ronald Bruce Meyer is a great example of a person who we don't know him. He's not famous to us, but the people who make things happen don't have to be famous. You don't have to get accolades for doing good work. He just did it. I got a buddy. His dad's 75. Wrote what was it, 10 novels? Are they any
Mm.
good? I don't think so. But he wrote 10 novels. This list is pretty good. Is it a perfect list? No. But I'm not poo-pooing Mr. Meyer here. He put together a list, and we've really relied upon it. And Nate was saying, like, there's a lot of good reading in here, stuff that you can check out. And so we're adding to it on our own. It's a starting point, like anything, kind of like Wikipedia. It's a starting point, but it's not where you stop. It's just a place where you see some topics. You issue spots, something that you want to learn a bit more about, and then using your research skill and your critical thinking and these kind of skills that you've developed and honed over the years, you can follow these rabbit trails, and then you become a very interesting person at a party. Right?
True.
Yeah. And you know what?
True.
This guy,
I
I
feel
think
like
that he... Oh, okay,
I
nice.
feel like I'm gonna get lost in his almanac. That's all I was gonna say. Go ahead, Mateo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was going to say that I really liked reading about this guy now that I know who he is, and I think that he summarizes perfectly the idea of the ACA. Just I'm going to read one. It's a little bit long, but I will try to go fast. A quote from him that I got from the article. He said, "Singing Jesus Loves Me in church never lifted one American out of poverty. Posting a copy of the Ten Commandments in a school never got anybody into college. Passing laws to make abortion difficult never helped one mother feed her child. Making gay marriage illegal never stopped one divorce. Failing to teach about contraception never prevented one teenage girl from getting pregnant. Evangelizing for Jesus never repaired a rotting road or beefed up a broken bridge. And none of these things got anybody a job or a home or helped to support a family. Where are the churches?" I think this perfectly summarizes not only this whole episode, but the reason why we do this, guys. He's amazing. This guy is awesome, and I love his quote. I love quoting him.
I like that quote. It's true. I mean, sometimes when we get onto these topics or when we're talking on the shows, there are people that exist in these intellectual exercise spaces. I remember taking a call once on, I don't know, some show where the guy's like, well, my friends and I, we really agree on everything. And, so we start getting into whether or not plants have souls and all this stuff. And I'm like, wait,
What?
that's what your friends are talking about? These like ivory tower, how many angels can fit on the head of a pin stuff? Stop talking and maybe start doing, and that's what the nonprofits is about, is not just that these ideas, these concepts exist in society, but that they affect trying to show, like discovering together how these concepts affect the real world. And of course, it doesn't stop with just talking about it and watching the show, but actually getting out there and trying to do something, trying to make an improvement, a small improvement. Don't expect to be, I don't know, Isaac Newton. Be content sometimes with being with Ronald Bruce Meyer, that you made a mark and the good work that you did inspired someone else.
And let me say, nonprofits is going to live up their words, because now we have 110,000 subs, and yes, you know what that means. What does that mean, Johnny?
110,000 scrubs. Oh no, subs. We can do fundraising. Cindy, I want to give you the last thought on this one, because poor Cindy.
On the whole episode, I just suggest people to look into agnotology. It's a very recent study, part of history, that studies how ignorance is maintained or created on purpose.
What was the word you used?
What was it?
Agnotology.
Agnotology.
Agnolojy.
To the Google mobile.
Yeah, it's very recent, but you can find articles about this. It's very, very interesting to try to find the mechanisms that are used by big companies like tobacco companies, um, to maintain and climate change and nuclear energy and everything we talked about today.
Mhm.
All this is in this topic, and that's very interesting.
Sounds like we're going to have to cover that on the show at some point in the future. So
Yeah.
thanks for giving us homework. Like for real. Nate, last thoughts?
I'm actually just really going to look into what Cindy was just talking about. I've never heard that word before, and that sounds like something really fascinating. So, Jason, if you can get that in the show notes, that
Yep.
would be great.
Yep. Mateo?
I can only say 100, 100 non-profits. I'm happy. I'm too excited, Johnny.
1000.
So
It's
1000.
1000. Wait,
did I say 1 hour? It's 10,000.
No, it's
No,
10,000.
100.
Shame on me,
100.
10,000 subscribers.
Today,
Yeah.
1000. Tomorrow, the world is
Sure.
where we're at. Look, we got to 10,000. This is my final thoughts. We got to 10,000, a little bit more than 10,000. We're not stopping there. We're going for
No.
PewDiePie numbers. You know that.